Biography of Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was born on Christmas Day, December 25, 1642, Julian calendar, which corresponds to January 4, 1643, in the Gregorian calendar, at Woolsthorpe Manor in Woolsthorpe by Colsterworth, a small hamlet in Lincolnshire, England. His father, also named Isaac Newton, had passed away 3 months before his birth. Newton was born prematurely and was so small that his mother, Hannah Ayscough, reportedly claimed he could have fit inside a quart mug. When Newton was 3 years old, his mother remarried the Reverend Barnabas Smith and left her son in the care of his maternal grandmother, Marjorie Ayscough, née Blythe, as she moved in with her new husband. Newton harbored a strong dislike for his stepfather and even held some resentment towards his mother for remarrying. This is evident from a note he wrote listing his sins up to age 19, in which he mentioned threatening my father and mother Smith to burn them and the house over them. From her second marriage, Newton's mother had 3 more children, Mary, Benjamin, and Hannah. Sir Isaac Newton FRS, December 25, 1642, March 20, 1726-27, was an English polymath, excelling as a mathematician, physicist, astronomer, alchemist, theologian, and author. He was a key figure during the Scientific Revolution and significantly influenced the Enlightenment. His landmark work, Philosophiæ Naturalis Principia Mathematica, Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, first published in 1687, consolidated previous scientific findings and laid the foundation for classical mechanics. In addition to his contributions to mechanics, Newton made groundbreaking advances in optics and shares credit with the German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz for the development of calculus, although Newton's work on calculus predated Leibniz's. In the Principia, Newton formulated the laws of motion and universal gravitation, which became the cornerstone of scientific thought for centuries until Einstein's theory of relativity emerged. He used his mathematical understanding of gravity to explain Kepler's laws of planetary motion, the behavior of tides, the paths of comets, and the precession of the equinoxes, among other phenomena, solidifying the heliocentric model of the solar system. Newton's assertion that Earth is an oblate spheroid was later confirmed by geodetic measurements conducted by scientists like Maupertuis and La Condamine, which convinced the majority of European scientists of the superiority of Newtonian mechanics over earlier systems. Newton also built the first practical reflecting telescope and developed a comprehensive theory of color based on his observation that a prism can split white light into the colors of the visible spectrum. His work on light was compiled in his influential book Optics, published in 1704. He formulated the empirical law of cooling, made the first theoretical calculation of the speed of sound, and introduced the concept of a Newtonian fluid. Additionally, Newton made early investigations into electricity, with an idea from optics potentially marking the inception of field theory in electric force.
As a mathematician, besides his work on calculus, Newton contributed to the study of power series, generalized the binomial theorem to include non-integer exponents, devised a method for approximating the roots of a function, and classified most of the cubic plane curves.
Newton was a Fellow of Trinity College and became the second Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at the University of Cambridge. He was a devout but unconventional Christian who privately rejected the doctrine of the Trinity and refused to take holy orders in the Church of England, unlike most of his Cambridge colleagues.
Beyond mathematics and physics, Newton devoted considerable time to the study of alchemy and biblical chronology, though much of this work was not published until long after his death. Politically aligned with the Whig Party, Newton served 2 brief terms as a Member of Parliament for the University of Cambridge in 1689 to 1690 and 1701 to 1702. He was knighted by Queen Anne in 1705 and spent the last 3 decades of his life in London, where he served as Warden, 1696 to 1699, and Master, 1699 to 1727, of the Royal Mint, as well as President of the Royal Society from 1703 until his death in 1727.